thought I'd just take you through the last few pages, probably 30 pages of the book, where again I mention care. I go back to talking about care. It's so important. And then I talk about things like injury, because again, that will happen. And depression, even as part of teams, is one of the big things that's going on. And unless we understand it and unless we care, things won't change. Finally, I talk about the 1%ers that make you a champion. And the final page on 234 of that chapter talks about highlight 10 things in this book you are going to introduce to this program. When you have money, make sure you own a heart rate monitor, a bloggy or something to video your games, and a pair of fluoro shoelaces won't set you back too much. Work out where you fit on the mastery hours. If you don't know how to make a highlight tape, then get someone to teach you. Find the most inspiring expert you know and shout them a coffee. Get started now, make some plans, find friends to join you. Read the 52 statements at the end of this book and make sure you are covering every one of them in your life. I promise you there's one a week. All these people do gratitude statements and everything. You can associate one of those with these statements if you want, but they are there to actually get you better and make your performance better. And finally, I'll talk about a thing called entropy. Entropy is, I was introduced to by my husband when I asked him why the clothes end up in the floor in our bedroom. And it's actually the second law of thermodynamics is that energy reverts to its lowest form. And meaning most people actually never get around to doing or hearing using good ideas that they hear. So you go to conferences or you listen to this or you read my book, but you don't actually finish what you're doing. And I can tell you that's why all those infomercials give you your money back, because most people never get around to actually doing it, even if it doesn't work. There's a glossary in the book that will tell you all the different ideas, and you can actually look at them. It'll tell you micromanage, what does it mean? A regression to the mean, what does it mean? Oh, what's a Raven's matrices? Maybe you've never even heard about it, but they're all part of being great. In the appendices, you will also find the coach evaluation tool. Oh, a player evaluation tool. That might be good for anyone to find out where you're actually sitting yourself with a lot of this. Then there's the profiling sheets, and again, we will actually have that online with what the questions are and the different answers, so you can check yourself against it. And there's a whole group of reading, watching and doing activities that I even talk about other books to read, because believe me, everything that I've used is not just based on my information. It's based on people like The Wisdom of Psychopaths, a bit of Gladwell stuff. Kahneman is the most important person that I can talk about. And then there's things like Freakonomics and Super Freakonomics. Then there's movies, if you've never seen Remember the Titans or October Sky, or League of Their Own if you're a female, or there's one called We Are Marshall. All of those, that Damn United. There's so many great movies out there that you'll now go, oh, how can I put that in with what Jenny's talking about? And you'll start to understand the characteristics of great coaches and players are so close together that's why these movies work. And last of all, I'm going to tell you about a whole lot of things in a second of social psychology. They are social loafing. They are the Milgram effect. They are confirmation bias, conformity, learned helplessness. And in doing so, what you're going to actually learn that everything you think about groups often doesn't work. And people don't even know why. And we do silly things without realizing. And again, the concepts are there, 52, maybe try one a week. And then finally, the end of the book finishes with some ideas that you can run yourself as a coach once you understand all of this. And then for those of you who are into invasion sports, I've even put the tactical principles that you should be teaching your players, because I'm a psychologist, maybe. I'm a coach, PE teacher and elite athlete first, and if you understand these defensive and offensive principles, then your players not only going to be psychologically well coached, but they're going to know a hell of a lot about all that in a game. Have fun, look at all of this and make sure that you understand that you're going to have a great life if you follow lots of this. And I hope you enjoy my book and think, prepare, play like a champion.